Guys, we are here with the grand finals of Champion of New Maelstrom. I'm Solid Jake, joined by Sia Steve, Mr. Matthew McNeil, and we've got a good match here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We've seen these teams face off against each other. I don't know how many times now, many, and
Medi,
it's
Medi.
always a good set. Usually, I don't think there's been really. I don't think there's actually ever been a point where it's gone the distance in any set with them. And I think about it, I
I
don't
think
think
it's
they've
always
ever
been
gone
three
like.
O's.
Yeah,
Has
it's always either been 3-0s, 2-0s. That's
yeah,
not to say that the games are bad, but it's always just been
yeah,
like
it's
one team just comes out and they win.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case. We see another repeat here, same idea, or if we're going to see something just out of the park from Glorious that just wins them the game. So we are going to Curse Hollow first, and that's a map that it can't really go either way for anything. Like it doesn't have the effect of like a Black Hearts Bay where one team just they get something and they just never stop. You
Right.
can always make a response for Black Hearts Bay. My cat is just pawing at things, um, and it's going to be interesting to see how the teams play it. We've seen a lot of really aggressive play on Curse Hollow recently, and granted, these are two NA teams, like we've said before, so they have scrimmed against each other. They have been around for 4 or 5 months. I think these are two of the older teams in the scene, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Uh, yeah, so I mean, these teams know each other's playstyles. They know a lot about the game, and it makes sense that we're seeing them in grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, not a big surprise. I mean, actually, I was surprised to see Glorious defeat Snowflake 2-0. That was
Right.
a bit of a shocker. I mean, both teams are very even, but 2-0, like, well done by Glorious. Because
Yeah.
actually, the week prior, we saw Snowflake win in 3-1
Just
in
three
the
one.
in the
Yeah.
semifinals of Kings of the Storm 2.
Right.
But they turned it around and said, you know what, we can go toe to toe with you guys. They took out Snowflake here, and I think it's time to just hop on over to the draft here for game number one. This is a best of five series, and Glorious opens up with an Arthas ban.
Yeah, I mean it's super normal. Like nothing really out of the ordinary there. We've seen Arthas banned a ton. Even in the most recent Kings of the Storm in America, we he had 100% pick or ban rate. So super normal stuff. Tassadar banned away by Symbiote. I mean that's also really normal. Both of these teams consider Tassadar to be pretty much a god. So those two bans very standard, and this looks like the most North American draft I've seen ever in the entire tournament. So, jumping right in, I mean, Tykett's first pick that's super standard. He does. We've talked about him. I don't know how many times. He has the health pools to pull off things that other assassins don't. He has the damage that other assassins don't. He just auto attacks you to death. Raynor is probably the only one that even comes close to that kind of just pure auto attack damage, unless you have like a massively stacked false head. Then we have False Dead Interior being responded with, so you have a huge amount of initiation combined with a lot of burst behind it. That's really important. We do see Zeratul being picked up by Glorious, not something that's out of the blue. We've seen Glaurung on Zeratul how many
Time and
times? I
time
don't
again,
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
constantly.
forced to pick up. Yeah, I mean, he was forced to pick up a second hero because so many people were just outright banning his stitches, which he became kind of infamous for. His he just ruined teams with stitches, so he was like, you know what, I need to add more depth to my hero repertoire, and now we're seeing him play Zeratul, which honestly, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing because he tends to be able to just 1v1 people now instead of having to hit a pick and have the rest of the team. So that's a thing. We have Uther. I mean, it's Uther.
Yeah.
Do we really need to go into that?
No, we
Divine
don't.
Storm,
You know, I
double
just
heal,
want to say that I actually
godly.
I actually think his Zeratul is more scary than his Stitches. Now,
Right. I
Stitches
mean,
obviously
it
being able to
has
just
yeah.
pull someone out of the fight, but Void Prison has the same kind of utility where it's just like, okay, no, you're out of this fight. Look, go away. And just the zoning control. He's a scary player, very young, talented player here we have in the community. But I like the Abathur. I just want to point out, I love the Abathur here. The options to go with double Odin is probably what we're going to see, but I mean, all these heroes are good to clone. You have double health bars on both Chen and Tychus. You have Uther for just ridiculous sustain, so it's going to be a hard team to take down that Glorious has. But on the other side of things, we're seeing a Nova. Nova's becoming more and more popular since this last patch. Um, not
Yeah.
not the common thing that we saw in previous tournaments, but Nova we're seeing a lot now. And
Yeah, I mean, we saw in Kings of the Storm 2, we saw 16% of the total picks were Nova, and then last week, so this is a 1 week difference between these two events. It went from 16% to 65%.
oh
Uh,
my goodness, that's
so
huge.
yeah, it's a pretty big difference in terms of everything that's going on. Like people are starting to realize how strong she actually is, and she can really, really ruin things. Now, it's it's interesting to see the way that Glorious drafted this because they saw the Nova pick first, and then they went Chen, who's a great Nova stopper just because of Earth Storm and Fire. He can just
Panda
split into
pals.
Panda Pals and stop her from being able to land her snipes. He can stop her from getting in anyone's face and basically stop her from escaping, basically. So that exists and that's a thing. But then they also picked up Abathur, who is like the worst pick against Nova a lot of the times because if Nova's
Yes.
allowed to roam, she can just go kill you in 2 seconds, especially now that her snipe is even stronger than it was before. And all she really needs to do is snipe you, and if she takes hot shots at level 7, auto attack you once, and you're just gonna die as Abathur. So it's a very interesting pickup. I do understand the pickup with Abathur. Him and Zeratul together is insanely strong, and we've seen this time and time again on Glorious. They have Abathur and Zeratul. They'll send Glaurung into the jungle. He'll just pick up an easy camp or even a night camp. Just casually assassin Abathur Zeratul, no big deal. He'll pick it up and he'll do it behind enemy lines a lot of the time. Very interesting to see that attempted against Symbiote if it does happen, because Symbiote's usually the one that sets the pace on taking merc camps. So, I mean, we have a lot on our plate that could be very, very cool. And I guess the last thing to talk about is Brightwing.
Well,
How do you
I
think she
mean,
fits in here?
you look at this composition, Emerald Wind seems very obvious to me, but they don't have a lot of healing. But the disengage with Emerald Wind, especially when you have to consider stuff like Panda Pals, stuff like even a double Panda Pals, like Brightwing is it's gonna be really nice. But at the same time, this gives Brightwing that hard disengage. So it's hard to say. They have both Nova and Falstad, which are really squishy heroes that need to be protected. So I feel like Emerald Wind's going to do a better job than Blink Heal. And blinking in on a new Barak is just going to get Brightwing killed. So I really think we'll see Emerald Wind, but there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, let's get into the game. We can keep talking about that as we go in.
Of course, of course.
Uh,
Let's
so
hop on over
whenever
to
you
the
are
scene.
ready.
Yep, and just on my count on go, 3, 2, 1, and go. I'm at the 2-second mark. Hopefully you are too. Normal
Yeah,
game
close
speed.
enough.
Yeah, close enough. It's hard here, guys, with the replay client. I'm sure you guys have watched a competitive event before if you're watching this now. But this is going to be a great game here on Cursed Hollow. Hopefully we stay relatively synced up here.
Yeah. So the difference for what you were talking about before with the Blink Heal and Emerald Wind, we actually talked to Shet about it when I was a guest on Town Hall and he was a guest on Town Hall together this week, and we talked about the difference between Brightwing and Blink Heal and Emerald Wind. And Blink Heal, while it does do a decent amount of healing, it doesn't really feel like it's enough right now. Granted, a lot of people got used to Regenerative Rain's Blink Heal, which was just insanely broken. So I think it'll find its way back into the meta eventually, just not just yet. And when it comes to this, I mean, if they were trying to go for a healer, I would have imagined seeing Malfurion.
Yes.
If they
I mean,
really, if their game plan, I mean, this was last pick overall in game. So if their game plan was to go for a healer, I would have imagined to see a Malfurion just because his healing is just so much larger. And we have a lot of potential setups going on all around the map right now.
yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of feeling each other out. I mean, we see Arthlon is here on the Nova, but getting hit by the spike of Zeratul, kind of they have knowledge of where Arthlon is at this point in the game, but he's just going to shift around looking for that gank. We have Soldier here and Arth. Zeratul, they're just all so close to each other. Everyone's just kind of feeling each other out. It's a really scary setup. Nicely done seeing the shimmer there, but it's not going to be enough. Abathur going on Zeratul right away, and Glaurung's just going to back up.
Yeah, I like Zeratul. I like the way he's playing aggressively. He has tapped wall very early, which means he's not going to be able to play insanely aggressive unless he does come down for Uther, which it looks like that's the plan. So he can play it pretty aggressive now if he wants to. Uther could just heal him up if anything goes south. And he did see a new Barak walk away. So now we're still looking at this 3-man gank potential in mid. We have Glaurung rotating around, trying to stop it. Arthlon actually going to show himself and get hurt pretty bad, but
Nicely done by Dreadnought. That was
Dreadnought with the
beautiful
pickup. He's like, no. It's my girl. You back down.
Yeah, beautifully done. You know what? I don't know if we actually see a ton of Dread on Tyrael, but I like it so far. We see him lately. I've been seeing him strictly on, I think, Arthas and Anubarak, but this game things are a bit different. We actually have Soldier on Anub again. I think that's going to be kind of something they're going to be working with a lot more, having a lot of flexibility throughout that team. KO, though, in a tough spot here, barely going to be able to escape the 2.5-man gank attempt here in the bottom. Falstad, very squishy, but having that barrel roll to get out of harm's way.
Yeah, and we do see that in the game we have one bribe on Brightwing. We have Seasoned Marksman actually on Falstad. So KO's trying to stack that up as much as possible. We have 2 Gathering Powers from Nova and Falstad, so they're looking to get their stacks rolling. We do have a Gathering Power on Zeratul, so he's looking to get his stacks rolling. And everything else is pretty standard. We have a promote from Abathur, so that's a thing.
Oh, wow. That's going to be very interesting to see on this map, specifically if a team shifts to the bottom map as 5 for the Tribute. We'll definitely see the promote on the opposite side of the map to try to push that lane as much as possible. Very strong talent that recently got changed, making it a lot more common.
Yep. And now this Tribute basically couldn't have spawned any better for Symbiote. They have Chen top lane. They didn't have Zeratul around. They do have damaged carry in mid. They have Tychus, who's about half health, so they don't really want to contest for this. And as we said last game, Abathur not that good early game on Curse Hollow. He won't be able to get his mines down on the Tribute right away. If anyone's even remotely close, they'll just get immediately taken out. Fun fact, mines will also give you stacks for a Seasoned Marksman, so you don't really want to give that to a Falstad whenever possible, but sometimes it has to. And we see a potential gank coming in on bottom.
Yeah, we see the rotate coming down here. They want to get Soma, and with 3 members here with so much burst, he's going to fall pretty quickly here. The heals going in, and it might actually be enough. Actually, Soldier missed his stun there and allowed him to get away.
Yeah, I think if they had waited not even 10 seconds later, they probably would have been able to get that kill, just because they would have had level 7, they would have had hot shots, and they would have had Boomerang as well. So that would have been almost a guaranteed kill just due to raw damage output and a nice little dodge there by Glaurung to get away from that impale.
Yeah, nicely
But now,
done.
again, I mean, the Tribute's up, and what can Abathur do?
Yeah, I mean, they still have 3 levels. It's going to be a long trek. They have to hope that they have the Tribute, or excuse me, they hope that they have level 10 present by the next Tribute. But it's going to be tough because, again, it's just a nice free Tribute giving the 2 advantage here for Symbiote.
And we see that Golems haven't taken that bottom, and another gank coming down. KO going to take a sizable chunk of damage, but nothing anywhere remotely close to threatening his life. And he should be able to push his back pretty easily. If he throws 1 Boomerang, it'll take them down to roughly half health. And if Arthon is here to clean it up, then they're going to drop. Yep, pretty much just like that.
Yep, just delete it pretty quickly. KO just chipping away here. I mean, SMG is just doing a beautiful job soaking. I like how we have Mad Timmy in the top lane here constantly, because at any moment when he's needed somewhere on the map, he can just phase shift there. He's just making sure he keeps this lane soaked. It's going to be hard to push against ZPs. I mean, we've seen ZPs lane on Chen before. He outlanes Tyraels, he outlanes pretty much anything on his Chen Storm Stout. Very strong play, but Brightwing's just going to sit there.
I like this call. Well, I like this call from SMG, where they're like, you know what? Falstad needed to go back and heal. We didn't want to have him burn any kind of fly and be really low into the fight. Let's just try to get the experience lead. Let's go ahead and bolster our forces. Timmy actually getting dropped super low, but the shield will be able to keep him alive.
Shield ally, very clutch, yep.
Yeah. So like they have the ability now to hit level 10 before Warrior says they need to take out these promoted minions down bottom, though. They're just kind of letting them do whatever they want. Arthon does know where the enemy Abathur is, however, so he is trying to break that wall down so they can get in there and kill Syracuse. Syracuse realizes this and says, okay, I need to leave. I need to not be in this dangerous area. He backs up, still stays around. He's looking for the shimmer. He's waiting to see where Arthon goes and, you know, kind of feel out if he is about to get just completely ruined by a Nova in about a half second, but it looks like he's decided that he's safe. So
yeah, he's safe for the moment. Both teams taking their golems. Brightwing continuing to just soak. Oh, you see the poke and prod here from but I like the mine placement.
If he committed, he would have gotten it, but he didn't get past that mine early enough, so not happening. But he's actually going to run all the way around. Syracuse sees this on the tower and says, you know what, I'm just going to go top lane. I don't need to be here anymore. But this does open up bottom lane for SMG kind of 101, where they just say, okay, you're not here, well, this is our fort now.
Brightwing continuing to just remain in the top lane. Still just, I mean, it might seem weird for Brightwing to not be with the team, but it's definitely the right play here. Getting that XP is invaluable. Now Brightwing has come down, realizing that all 5 of the enemy team are on their way. That's how quick Brightwing can be there. Just an instant. Very beautifully done. Soldier going down, hitting 2 members with his Impale. And ZP's in the front line here, going for KO. The VP actually gets 3 members, Mad Timmy, Dreadnought, and Soldier. Beautifully done. And Arthalon and KO, the 2 damage dealers, are very vulnerable. Arthalon going down, KO doing what he can while the members of SMG get out of the Void Prison and come here to engage. But is it going to be enough? Glaurung blinking out at the last minute. Panda Pals is about to fall. We have the double Odin doing massive damage here. I mean, they just are just unleashing their abilities. Soldier has to burrow charge out of here, and this is a beautifully done initiation by Glorious.
I was like I wanted to yell through a lot of that, but like we're not perfectly synced up, so I don't want to ruin anything. But like the original initiation of that was so well done. Like Glorious, they waited, they had their opportunity and they took it. They struck when the iron was hot, and that first VP, like the perfect VP on 3 people, was so well done. Sadly, they weren't able to. Yeah, 3.
Like leaving the 2 DPS vulnerable.
They got exactly what they wanted to knock out of the fight. The only difference was that they weren't able to get the burst down that they needed when they needed it, and they weren't able to take out their targets quick enough. Oh, Syracuse playing a dangerous game. Arthon knows he's there. He's actually going to go probably right in and try to take this out. Ooh, do it, Arth! He's so proud of you. Got him.
Got him. Got him indeed.
But that fight was just so perfect, and the tiny bit of overstay that we saw from Cawthon Luck just cost them the trade. Granted, the original thing was fine. They did get a tribute, but it cost them their trade that they were looking to do, and now it's going to cost them even more because Syracuse just didn't pay that tiny bit of attention to Avatar. This is what we talked about when we were in draft.
Yep.
Nova ruined Avatar.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, we see SMG is just going to pressure this top fort. They do have the curse for them in their favor at this point in the game. Giants here pushing them to top lane. They're just going to get a lot of work, but Glorious is opting to just counter push, saying, look, we don't care if you've got the curse. We're just going to push this bottom fort and get a fort for us. Almost dead exact timing in terms of taking the forts there, but SMG says, you know what? We can push faster. Your base is cursed. We've got golems. Let's do this.
Not sure if you saw it. But I thought actually threw a precision strike down bottom to stall them from being able to move back, and I'm going to let you take it.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that, but we did see the Hearthstone. That was, like you said, nice precision strike. But oh my god, VP going down on 3 members. 4 members have hopped in, realizing they need to get in there. But the beautiful Divine Storm goes down. You know, the Judgment as a retaliation. Are we going to see Mad Timmy use Emerald Wind? I don't know if it went off yet. KO is going to fall here in just a second. No, actually managed to get Glaurung. Instead, ZP's hops Panda Pals at the very last minute. Shockanaw going down. I don't think it hit anyone. Dreadnought very low. Soldier backing up here. Dreadnought will fall, and ZP's is chasing, but realizes, look, I have no health under this. I need to back up myself. Pretty even fight.
Yeah, so a lot of very technical things happened during that fight. And it looks like Arthur's going to say, you know what, I know that we didn't win that fight, but I can take this. I can take this mid fort. You actually go ahead and burn the precision strike fort. But I'm a little heady. I'll wait. So what happened in that fight was Arthur didn't have precision strike. That's fine. It didn't really cost him the fight. It probably would have helped, but you know.
You are so robot right now.
Am I?
Your internet is dying, I think.
Mr. Roboto?
Hard to understand, but continue anyways.
Is it? Am I good? Can I talk?
It's robot-y, but okay.
Oh, and I'll just wait. I'll wait.
Well, it's been robot-y for a while, and I don't think it's going to fix it. We might have to have you relog after this game. But guys, like you said, we're grabbing the Knights here in favor of SMG in the middle of the map, and we're going to see potential engagement here in the top. All the players are slowly shifting up here to where Glorious is in the top of the map. And we see that both the Golem and Knights are present here, ready to be taken. And now ZP's is going to hop on the Knights right away. Soma going to be assisting him as well as Cawthon Luck, but all the members of SMG are just waiting for that moment. They're looking for eyes on. They should know that they could be around here. I don't think I think they want the Giants. or the golem, excuse me, and the knights aren't too big of a worry here for SMG, and they know what's happening. They know they took the knights, they see it on their map, and they want to initiate. Matt, are you still with me?
I'm here. Is it good?
Still roboting, but it's okay. It's better. It's a little bit better.
Ugh, that's gross. Well, we have a going down, so I'll let you take it back.
Yeah, well, we have a nice initiation here. The shock and awe, and the can get a ton of damage here on Glorious, but KO has to back up. Panda Pals is going to come down here for ZP. ZP is going to be chasing the 2 damage dealers, the 2 massive damage dealers. Arthlon is going to be backing up, though. Burrow charge to try to get out. Will Soldiers survive? Doesn't look like it. A nice flip there. It looked like it was vastly in the favor for a brief moment for SMG, but with the second health bars of heroes like Tychus, and oh my god, Arthlon says, look, hey guys, we know you have no health under that. Actually gets a double kill after that, and Syracuse, he's got his Abathur clone, but it's going to fade away, and Dread is going to be just fine.
Testing.
What's up?
Testing? Can you hear me?
It's still, I mean, it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
It does not work! So we do see, I mean, that the fight went pretty much as good as it could have gone for SMG. They were able to take it pretty handily at the beginning. Mad Timmy's Emerald Win actually ended up pushing people back into the precision strikes they were trying to get out of, and just, it's so much work in that tight little space that he threw it down in. They're able to pick up this golem as well, and now Glorious, while they're not out of the game, they're in a very bad position. They don't have the control that they're looking for across the map, and it's looking like SMG is starting to run away just a tiny bit with this game. By no means is the game over, so by no means. But if it keeps going at the same pace, SMG is going to be able to carry the team through and win whatever they want. So the 620 has begun, and SMG is wildly ahead by a full level. If they do manage to force a fight on enemy giants, and they get the fight there, they get the pick. It's a very small location. It looks like they're moving over there. If they get that fight that they really, really want, they'll be able to get the pick, and they might actually be able to end the game just because of how close they are to the enemy's core. They are going to take the vision, and I'm not sure that they actually want to take the fight as Tribute has spawned, and they really don't want to. They don't want to lose a team fight and lose a Tribute as well, so they're going to get into a defensive posture around the Tribute and just kind of wait it out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Glorious is even going to contest this at all, even though they're 1 away from the curse. They realize, hey, look, this doesn't really mean anything. There's no big loss in this Tribute. Grab their giants, play it safe, and they're going to wait for Symbiote to come to them, because Symbiote, they don't want to wait. They want to take the fight to them. They got this golem, and they want to capitalize on it if at all possible. We see Soldier and Dread both positioned aggressively. At any moment, they could force that initiation here. But Glaurung just going to blink in, do some damage, and use his wormhole to get right on out. And they see Glorious is pushing out, so they're going to shift their posture defensively. But a nice VP on both Arth and Soldier. SMG knows what to do here. The Divine Storm is going to be what they want, but a precision strike followed by shock and awe doing a ton of damage. We see Emerald Wind doing a little bit of work there. Glaurung is going to fall. ZP's still has Panda Pals up here. He's chasing Arthlon. Arthlon's going to get out just fine, but Cthon Luck with the Abathur on his head. The Abathur hat, is he going to live? Doesn't look like it. Second health bar, not going to be enough, and we have 4 members of SMG hunting him down right now. Where did that fight go wrong? Did SMG just do the right thing with the... Go ahead.
So Glorious, like they threw that VP, right? And it was fine, but because of the positioning of the VP, it didn't actually allow anyone on Glorious to rotate around. They had to run into the VP. And because of that, Uther didn't have a good chance to stun anyone. Granted, when the VP ended, he was able to take a couple steps forward, but because of the build that Arthur's using, and because he hasn't actually died since he's been picking up these stacks, his burst is insane right now. He's also a full level ahead. So what he ended up doing was he crippling shotted him, sniped him, threw down the precision strike, and that damage alone was enough to kill Uther. Now, granted, when Uther dies, it doesn't technically matter. He's still able to put down his ult. He's able to stun up everything. He's able to do his full CC. He just doesn't do as much in terms of raw numbers. So his CC is still there. It's just the damage is a little bit off, or the healing, whichever one you want to look at it.
Well, we have all 5 members back up here. I just want to point out the fact that Falstead used his fly to just grab those stacks in the middle lane, just saying, hey, look, I have marksman. I'm going to go grab those stacks, make sure I maximize those. Very nicely done, very good use of this fly. And they're going to just grab these knights, burning a couple of stacks of bribe here, grabbing the offensive knights, and Glorious really can't push out. They're getting close to 20 here for SMG. and they just want to get all the XP they can to hit level 20 and initiate on their own terms.
There's pretty much, to me, there's pretty much one more fight that Glorious can take, and if they don't do it right, everything's
well, SMG is in position. They got Knights here with them. Do they want to fall back? Do they want to go in? It's not apparent yet. Arthlon is getting burned down by ZP's. Emerald Wind goes down. The Judgment on Syracuse. The Precision Strike is going to do a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough to keep Arthlon alive. Mad Timmy doesn't have Emerald Wind. He'd love to have it at that moment. We get completely surrounded. Very nicely done here by Glorious so far, but is it going to be enough? KO has to back. Soldier is chasing a weak Chthon. How much health is under this Odin?
You know, roughly a full health bar.
A full health bar. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't want to keep chasing as you have the entire team. Well, not the entire team, but 3 members of Glorious. Not complete domination, as we see that Dreadnought and Soldier did retain their lives in that fight, but they caught up a little bit.
I would honestly say that that was a dominant performance from Glorious. I mean, they were 2 levels back at the start of that fight. They didn't really have any openings for them that they saw, but they made something out of it. The fact that SMG split the way they did allowed Arthlon to lose his life. There was no way anyone was going to be able to defend him, and because the Judgment went into the base instead of using it defensively to stop Arthlon from dying, SMG lost a massive chunk of their damage right at the beginning of that fight, and it allowed Glorious to really do what they just did. So, I mean, that was a great heads-up play from my perspective. That was just pretty much perfect from Glorious, but now they need to do that again. Otherwise, it's not going to matter. And Soma gets immediately deployed with his sprint, so no sprint on Uther for the next team fight. Well, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, well, we have SMG actually all falling on this Golem. They knew this is the obvious play, and they're going in. They actually get Glaurung really decisively. Arthlon having the crazy burst from Nova, burning him down. That's a big loss to lose. Oh my goodness, the Precision Strike there on the... They're hunting down Soma here. I keep wanting to say in the hunt, but there's no Illid in this game, so it's like...
It's close enough.
I feel dirty because there's no Illid.
I mean, it's like the hunt in... It's paying homage to him. Because we're never going to actually see him in the game.
Oh my goodness.
We'll just...
The call-outs. Well, we've got the Golem here for Symbiote. They're going to press down this top keep. This little mule is going to see what he can do, but his life is going to be a short one by the looks of it. Dreadnought in the front line using Judgment. They're just going to use this to help Zone push down this keep. The Golem is still incredibly healthy, and they even have a pair of Giants pushing with them. They're not even going to wait. Using the triple Emerald Wind, having that level 20 advantage. SMG coming here on the keep. Excuse me, the core, and seeing if they can end the game right now. Oh, a nice Void Prison to keep the core alive. Is it going to be enough to stall, though? KO is stuck in it. The Precision Strike will end up ending the game, though.
Yeah, I mean, the Judgment there at the end was burned to take out Tychus. He was already dropped very low from a little bit of a burst coming out of Arthlon, and that hurt them real bad. So... You know, I mean, that was it. They didn't have anything left to defend, and that's all she wrote. So, I mean, that one fight almost brought it back. It did get very close to bringing the game back, but it just didn't end up working for him. And when we go to draft, I guess I will restart my Skype.
Yeah, I think you should definitely restart your Skype. I'll actually just throw to a quick commercial break while we let you fix your internet. You're in full pixelation mode at the moment, so guys, we're going to let Steve trying to figure out his internet, see if he can restart his rig or something. Maybe his mother is torrenting. We don't know what's going on right now, but we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned. Guys, we are back here with the draft. We're going to try to avoid Matt's potato cam as his internet is getting
Yep.
wrecked by a thunderstorm right now. Just completely wrecked.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but something. Oh, hey, it jumped up to 3 megs now. Upload. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, such speed. I'm supposed to have a 25 down, 10 up connection, but right now I have about 30% of that, and it seems to be spiking. So rip everything. But as you can see, there is a draft on the screen, so we can get right to that.
Well, yeah, we see the quick ban here on Zeratul. They said those VPs were really scary that last game. We don't want to deal with that again. I think that's a pretty smart play there. And Gloria said the same thing. Look, we don't want to deal with your noob Iraq. We know you guys have 2 guys that can play a noob, banning out a noob Iraq. So I think those are probably 2 really like logical and just nice bans.
Yeah. I honestly think that Symbiote got everything they wanted in this draft. It looks exactly like they got every single thing that they wanted in this draft. Like they love Tassadar. I said that game 1. Tassadar is like their homeboy. They love running him, and they're able to first pick him. So that's huge. That stops so much aggression. And again, we're seeing Glorious pick things that are already the counters are already on the table, and they're still picking into it. Last time they picked Abathur into a Nova. This time they're picking Nova into a Tassadar, and it's scary to see that stuff. I don't want to say it's a raw mistake, because Nova can certainly just outright burst down a Tassadar if she's given the option. But it still seems a little iffy to me. And then on top of that, you have Oracle going straight into a Judgment. Like, that's terrifying. Nobody escapes. Literally no one escapes.
Yeah.
So, rip.
It's like you said, that's it. Absolutely terrifying combination, and we've seen Judgment paired with Shock and Awe time and time again, and it just does. It's like a hard initiation and then a guaranteed Shock and Awe on one member, so you can pretty much remove them from the fight right out from afar. Like it's crazy how strong it is. Actually, the interesting thing with this composition, I do think that we'll definitely see Bloodlust. We do have Archon. And just both, with Tyrael and Falstad, I definitely think we'll see the Bloodlust. So they have a lot of sustain. They have the shields from Tassadar. Again, SMG, we tend to see compositions that have a lot of sustain. Second health bar on Chen with the Panda Pals, the shielding provided by Tyrael. The really only squishy hero they have to worry about is Falstad, and I'm sure we'll see Arthalon on Falstad, and he knows how to sit in the back and play safe and really just keep that damage rolling on through. On the side of Glorious, like we said, they got the Arthas, Tychus, really strong pickup, and then Uther looking really good. But again, Nova, it's going to be interesting to see if Nova ends up paying off, because there's a lot of other really strong heroes available in the draft here. They have Tychus. Vala's becoming less common. As the meta progresses, Vala's becoming a less and less common pick. She used to be probably the most picked assassin for a long time. And
yeah, there's definitely those. Strafe was a lot stronger back then as well. Strafe was doing like absurd amounts of damage, and you had it up every single team fight, sometimes twice a team fight.
Yep.
So that's a thing, and that's not around anymore. So people have been going random events, still go Strafe occasionally, but when it comes down to if you're looking to do raw damage output, then Nova's your girl. Like, no one's gonna beat that. So.
That's very true. It's a very good way to look at it. Personally, I would have liked to see Zagara, because I don't think we see enough Zagara play, but Nova is very, very strong. And Matt, do you have the game ready to roll on your computer?
I do.
Game 2. I'm 2 seconds in on normal speed setting, guys. We're going to be hopping into Game 2 of the finals here of Champion of New Maelstrom between Glorious and Symbiote. Make sure my overlay is nice and pretty, and we're going to go on go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Well, we have SMG here on the left side of the map, and Glorious is spawning on the right side. ZP's rocking the Cyberwolf this game. I think that's the first time since Cyberwolf. We've got 4 ponies as well. Wow, such pony. Or goat, excuse me. They're goats. Versus Team Money Pig. Well, we got Money Pig, Wolfie Pig. And Dreadnought,
I don't think
disappointing.
wolfies are considered pigs. I think that's what they eat. I mean, we actually almost have a fairy tale. If Dreadnought wasn't slacking and wasn't, only like level 29 and only playing custom games,
Yeah,
he
what a
might have a
scrub.
money pig, and then we would have had the 3 pigs and the big bad wolf.
I
But no, he has to ruin
I
everything.
just want to say that I'm excited to see Dread's Tyrael again. I really liked his Tyrael play, just that decisiveness. He's a very decisive player. He knows like when to initiate. He knows how to play. He's
Yeah.
very well rounded. But with a hero like Tyrael, you can really force hard engagements, forcing the enemy team to react, and especially paired with Bloodlust available in this game. Oh, it's gonna be pretty.
Yeah, I mean, so another bonus for Bloodlust is Panda Pals. Panda Pals will adjust to Bloodlust as well, so they'll get the move speed, they'll get the attack speed, and it basically means that you are never allowed to outrun them. Never in your life will you outrun them. But we do have something going on down bottom, so check that out.
Yes, we do in fact have a little engagement here, but it looks like nothing big's going to happen here. Mad Timmy just going to sit here in his ward. SMG about to hit level 2. There it is. Both teams very even in experience, but we do see ZPs and Cathan Lock positioning. They want to try to make something happen here. And Soma is here. They know Soma's here, but they don't know where ZPs and Cathan Lock is. I feel like they have a... They know they're not on the map, so they must have a feeling, but if we actually even have Glaurung here coming down on the Stitches, and the hook is real on KO, but KO is going to be just fine backing up. Nice just defensive posture, and this is actually going to allow Arthlon to get a lot of work done in the middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, whatever experience they lost from that first blood, they're going to be able to pick right back up, just because Stitches has been missing from mid lane for so long. And, I mean, it worked out for SMG in favor, but it's a lot of resources to dedicate to not get a kill from Glorious. And I mean, granted, Glorious has been the team time and time again where people say, if you're looking for an aggressor, Glorious is your team. Like, if you want to see someone that just constantly does rotations, constantly puts just aggression out from the beginning of the game, that's Glorious. But that also comes with a downside where other teams know that. Other teams know that you're always fishing for those kills. And, I mean, Jake, you're from a Smash background. You know when someone's fishing.
Oh,
you know. Feel it.
You can
you
feel
know
it.
it. You like,
just
you
have
know,
this
they're
gut
going for
feeling.
that kill. They're trying to finish this match.
Yes.
They're fishing, and they're gonna make a huge mistake at some point. And that's one of the things that's kind of different between these two teams. SMG will put the pressure down. They'll put all the aggression down that you want. They'll fucking shine pressure you all day.
Wow.
Red actually gonna get jumped on the top.
Beautiful, beautiful like grenade there. Almost surviving. He tapped the well. It was almost enough last minute, but with the grenade and the Envenom, it was barely enough to kill Dreadnought. Now, he did everything right. He did dodge the Arthas with Smite, but it still wasn't enough to stay alive.
Yeah, just really bad timing death there as well as the tribute comes up, so they probably won't be able to contest this. KO might actually get put
goodness,
into a
the hook
position.
is real. Glaurung always have to watch for that hook. We have Soldier and Dread here in the middle, doing as much as they can. They're going to try to get ZPs, but it's not going to be enough as Soma comes in with the heal at the perfect time. It looks like ZPs will eventually fall here, and Glaurung is getting just pressured by everyone. Everyone has turned their focus. They want to take him out. Mad Timmy taking a good amount of damage from the Nova, and Nova's just going to reposition and wait for a cooldown to come back and try to get a pick here. Mad Timmy in the front line, not afraid. And that's going to be a tribute, surprisingly, going to SMG.
Yeah, I mean, death timers are still really low, and because of the way that it's spawned, it's actually a really quick run from the fountain up to that tribute, because they could just run straight through their mid forward and go right up there. And I mean, we were just talking about them fishing for kills and getting a little bit too aggressive. Granted, I wouldn't say that that was the actual case there, but just a tiny bit of positioning error allowed that to happen where Arthas overstepped. After they got the kill, they could have just backed up. Arthas overstepped a little bit, Stitches overstepped a little bit, and we saw it kind of flip on them. So, granted, they only lost the tribute. They didn't really lose anything in terms of experience. They will actually be up in experience in a second once they take Knights. And it's still anyone's game. But again, we need to see Glorious not necessarily scale back the aggression, but just play it a tiny bit tighter. And if they can do that, I could definitely see them taking this game 2 away from SMG.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely any man's game at this point. Glorious does, in fact, have a slight experience lead, and the second tribute has just popped here, but we see SMG is actually going for their Knights, waiting for the last pretty much possible moment They're going to try to stall here, but we do have Mad Timmy in a pretty aggressive position that Glaurung could feel the hook here and definitely get a big pick on Mad Timmy. But we see SMG is rapidly approaching the top lane to help defend this. Tribute's not being tried to be captured by Glorious. They know they need to take the fight. Soldier coming right on in here, going to do what he can to disrupt their team, and the healing totem is getting maximum value. Really nice positioning there. Mad Timmy is going to fall. Soldier is well forward, and he is going to be in the bad spot here, but a nice hook pulling Soldier back on over, and ZP's is going to fall as well. Soma taking a lot of damage, and he is down. Glaurung needs to get out of here quickly. I don't think KO is going to be able to get the kill.
That's so confused. When Shen died, his Thundering Keg got dolled away over the wall, or rather his keg got knocked over the wall, so they just hit 10. I was like, did Soldier die? Did he Wandering Keg? What happened? I was like, oh, he definitely died. Okay. Oh man.
Oh, so you saw his keg throwing in the air.
Yeah, like the actual keg, because of the way that he died,
I missed that.
Grenaded away.
Very
because
interesting.
the grenade hit it, it just rolled over the wall, and I was like, what was that? And I was like, oh, okay. So you see that he has second Vandapal, Storm, Earth, and Fire. We have Judgment on Tyrael, Bloodlust on Rhaegar, Shock and Awe on Falstead, and Archon for Tassadar. And it looks like we're not going to get a fight right away, so I'll go real quick. Army of the Dead, Odin, Precision Strike, Storm, and Gorge from. So pretty simple across the board, a lot of utility on both sides, and it'll be interesting to see how SMG plays into the Army of the Dead and MVP, because they don't have enough Fury to stop that. The only thing they really have to show is the, I guess, Judgment, and I don't really recall Arthas ever getting judged, so.
No, it doesn't sound like a common option, because Arthas is going to have a massive health bar. He's going to stay alive for a long time, especially with an Uther there able to heal. A nice phone here for SMG, but everyone from Glorious is falling on them at this moment. The Shock and Awe is going to do a lot of damage. Bloodlust is down. Precision Strike doing massive damage. Glaurung very low. Mad Timmy in the front line just going toe-to-toe, but the Odin doing too much damage to Mad Timmy. He's going to fall here. Soma goes down. Soldier and Dreadnought are on the hunt here for Chthon Luck. I can't stop saying the hunt. I just have been playing too much Religion, I suppose. And there he goes. Chthon Luck is gonna fall. ZP's gonna try to escape here, but he's gonna be just fine.
Okay.
Not worth the chase.
The second that I saw that happen, the second I saw them coming on and fight at the Golem Rack spot, I was like, oh my god, do not rotate. If you sit up, you'll be caught in a slam and it will like hell. It happened both times. We saw Arthas and just get stunned at the slam. Really, really bad, just bad luck, I guess we'll call it. But at the same time, it's one of those match-specific things that you need to know. You need to make sure that you're never putting yourself in that position, and it hurt them really badly.
Yes,
so
it hurt them
quite a bit. They didn't lose in the fight, but certainly, and as you said, that Odin was so on point. It was doing so much damage. It didn't matter. The rest of the DPS just lost their lives. I mean, Uther died, Nova died. It's nothing to do. And now we have another engagement happening.
Yes, I believe their cooldowns on their heroics should be pretty low here. Bloodlust won't be ready, but we do have the initiation by Soldier here, coming in with a flying kick, trying to take out Glaurung, forcing them to separate and giving the curse in favor of SMG, and they're just going to pressure with it here. Now they have the option to grab their golem. Do you think they should just take the fort and go back to the golem?
I think they should take the fort and swing to mid fort. They do that. They don't have to worry about their golem getting because actually everywhere they have creeps. They have creeps mid. They have the creeps will push to the bottom. They have at team's vision on their door already. So if somehow Glorious is able to sneak past them, I give them massive credit. I think that's going to be the case. And you know that two people are currently out of position, so ZP and Soma are now in a very, very, very position.
Yeah, we see the initiation happening here on Soma, but they are going to back up. Glaurung gets Mad Timmy and the Gorge, but the Judgment coming in here. Mad Timmy's going to shield up, but he's behind enemy lines. Going to be hard to stay alive. Soldier even risking his life coming over here onto Glaurung, trying to get the kill. He does get the kill. In fact, Soldier doing a lot of work. Does he have Panda Pals available? I'd imagine he does at this point. It's a pretty short cooldown. And yeah, there it is. Panda Pals goes off. Chthon Luck needs to back up. Syracuse in a really risky spot because Panda Pals can in fact jump over that wall, but will it happen? We see the flying kick. Soldier is going to lose his life.
It looked like he messed up the top of the wall,
Yeah,
or
I
don't know if it was there, but that was kind of funny.
Very uncharacteristic mistake. I mean, with Panda Pals, he was actually perfectly safe being in there like that, but he overstayed his welcome by, well, again, not getting over that wall. It looked like he wanted to go right over the gate, but instead, he looked like he clicked on the gate and ended up on the inside. So,
yeah, I don't know if he meant to dive that hard or what the deal was. I mean, it did a lot of work. It's just that they weren't able to really push too much off of that just because of how the fight went down. It shouldn't matter though. SMG will be hitting 16 very soon. They're probably going to actually up this mid if they're allowed to do just that. But recognize that, you know what? It's probably not a good idea if we're here. We don't want to just get picked on. And the great Oracle ahead and shows everyone on. So
yeah, great
okay.
game sense by Arthalon. Just knowing, look, they're probably around here. He used it right in a position where he could see both the Grave Golem and the center bottom part of the map there, giving them complete vision as to where they would be, because there's no reason for them to be on the top half of the map. Nice hook there on Arthalon, but Arthalon is just going to get right on out. And we see Dread is on the aggression with KO. KO wants to back up here for sure, and it looks like SMG is going to try to go for a potential, maybe just grab this watchtower, get in position, and try to get their initiation here in the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you might get a wish.
Well, yeah, Soldier and Dreadnought do go in right away. We see the Bloodlust. Panda Pals needs to come down here. Soldier is very low. Panda Pals is active. The Shock and Awe doesn't do that much, but KO is getting very low, and KO is going to fall. This is going quite well for both teams. Honestly, it's very even, but Mad Timmy is getting chipped away here. Soma also very low. Both healers very, very low. We see a ton of work being done by Syracuse, and they need to take Syracuse out sooner. She's just doing too much damage.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's really right, and they had it. It's going to take them out.
There we go.
Now they get jumped in on scary times. This is what I was talking about before. I mean, it was an easy cleanup afterwards when you're dealing with a champ that has combination attack. It's level 16 ability, rather talent. Which after he does a flying kick, the next basic attack deals an additional 20% bonus damage. So he's just going to wreck you. Like, it's basically, it's not at the level of a Nova State, but it can happen so often that it kind of feels it. And it positions him on you and you just blow up, so rip.
Rip indeed.
It's just bad.
Well, we do see that SMG, they're not too healthy here, but they have the healing ward to help them out. Mad Timmy opting for Feral Lunge at this point in the game. It's a pretty common decision that we see, but with the shielding, we're getting out of material. But a nice hook on Mad Timmy, just popping into wolf form, getting on out of here. SMG doesn't want to give this up. They're saying, look, no, this is ours. Get out of here. Flying kick in on ZPs. ZP's going to use his cooldowns, and SMG just going to back right on up as they got what they wanted, and they're going to go get the other golem right now. Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, I mean, they can. They have every option open to them if they want it. They're playing this a little bit slower than they normally do because they know that if they take one bad fight, then it'll put Glorious right back in the game, and that Glorious is going to be hitting 16 very soon. So they don't want to rush anything. They felt comfortable. There's something that's just weird. I'm just going to say it. It's just weird to see. Glorious is down, and their Nova has taken both Lethal Decoy and Double Fake. So effectively a holoclone build, but the early build is Ambush Snipe, Get Power, and Hot Shots. So
it's like a hybrid.
It's kind of a mix, and it almost makes sense. It allows her to be very safe in building these fights, but it will absolutely not allow her to 100-0 someone. Which, again, kind of okay because she's dealing with the Tassadar, so I understand the pick. But we'll see how it pays off here if this fight happens as we have a little bit of push going on the Giants.
Yes, we do have this initiation here at the bottom offensive lane. A nice shock and awe going down to force them to stay out there a little bit longer than they would like. But they're all just going to tap well and re-initiate as the overhealing does affect them quite a bit, giving them the advantage here. But Glaurung getting very low. Beautiful precision strike, but we see an immediate Archon Bloodlust coming in here. The Judgment has gone down, and Soma is going to fall to a flying kick. Dreadnought on the hunt here for Glaurung. And the knockback is not going to help them enough. Soldier in the very front lines. Panda Pals has not been used yet. That second health bar, here it comes. Panda Pals and SMG, it looks like they want to end the game if they manage to get Chthon Luck. I don't even think they need it. All they have left is 2 damage dealers. Heap goes down here. Golem still pushing, and this core is going to take a beating.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like the end. I don't imagine any way that SMG can really stop this, and looks like it will actually be there. And something to note, I actually didn't even realize it, but Hagar City actually took Fireside this game as well, so really, really top job for Nova. Like, it's insanely hard to get in and do anything. She has to deal with both an Oracle and Fireside. Like, that is tough.
Potato cams activate. Well, you actually have your webcam off because you
Off.
realize it will probably help your internet a little bit more, and it has been helping a wee bit here.
Hello,
Oh no,
potato.
cam, potato cam.
Potato.
Hashtag
other potato.
production value. He's actually got 6 frames a minute. It's really sick here, guys. It's the best production.
Going back.
Well,
the internet even existed.
so that puts SMG up 2-0 versus Glorious, and like you said, every time we've seen them, it's just been like, I don't think Glorious has ever beaten SMG. Am I correct in that?
You're wrong. I don't remember any games where in tournament. I don't remember any games where they've taken a game off of them. So if it happens, that's happened.
Steve turned into a Minecraft character is what chat is saying. I like it here.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to prep up for game number 3 here. We'll be back in just a quick moment. Guys, we are back here right in the draft for game number 3 between Glorious and Symbiote. We see an immediate ban on our 2 Protoss heroes that are in the game, Tassadar and Zeratul. What are your thoughts on this, Matt?
Well, I mean, there's been a long adage that if something has glowing eyes, it's overpowered. So that only adds to it, and makes sense. I understand. And let's see. Let's see. We have two glowy eyes on Glorious. No, we have three. We have three glowy eyes. And then we have no eyes. That's got to be worth like four. And two glowy eyes on Symbiote. So it'll be an interesting matchup, just due to the eye ratio. But I mean, Tassadar, we've seen him be like super strong in every game. I think he's made massive plays, so it makes sense to take them away. Zeratul again, just banning out a strength from Symbiote, or rather from Glorious. They don't want Glaurung on that Zeratul, and they've just shown that they're clearly not afraid of the Stitches at all. So I mean that really limits his flaming pool, and it doesn't surprise me that we see a Kerrigan. We saw him revert to that, or rather resort to that in other tournaments, in other
Yep.
games, and it's another common pick for him. Now the issue is almost the entirety of Glorious is glass cannon, I would say. Like Falstead, Nova, Kerrigan, all those things can be bursted down immediately, and the line that they're pushing into is hyper terrifying. I mean, Tychus, crazy hard to kill. Tyrael, pretty hard to kill. A noob, if played correctly, almost impossible to kill. Rhaegar, just he has a high base health, but he's not anything.
I mean,
like
Wolf Form
super
too.
hard to
He's
take
got
away.
the escape. I mean, he's
Right,
he's
right.
he's definitely hard to get the lockdown on. And yeah, I mean, this is again, it's SMG just running that hyper tanky composition. We see them again and again and again. Just Rhaegar provides all that healing across the board with healing totem and chain heal, and I like their draft better. But the Glorious draft is very much like Glorious. They
Yeah.
have the Arthas, they have the false at 4 damage, and I think Kerrigan could get. I mean, Kerrigan Arthas is terrifying. Like it's
Oh yeah.
terrifying.
I mean, Kerrigan Arthas Uther is scary, and then you add in the boost from a Falstad and Nova. Like it's there. The opportunities are there. It's just a matter of how much is that pick gonna get you, because you're gonna be putting a lot of abilities on cooldown, and when it comes right down to it, I would still put money on Symbiote's lineup, just rushing them, moving into them. I would put money on that. But something to note, we talked about the last game a little bit while I was probably in Robot Land and still am. Um, Glorious is the team that's known as being the aggressor. They really like rotating. They like getting those ganks. They like finding openings, and they're on probably. I don't want to say it's their strongest map, but in theory, it should be one of their strongest maps. We're going to Dragonshire this game, and
Yeah.
yeah, and that allows them to have very quick rotations between all the lanes. It allows them to potentially get multiple 2v2s, 3v3s because of the way that the shrine setup works on the map, where you have one on top, one on bottom. It allows them to have the tight corridors that they want for Kerrigan if they try to aggress onto enemy giants or try to bait giants out. Uh, Taking knights, another very tight location for Kerrigan that she can just kind of get in there and ruin up everything. Shock and Awe has a really, really strong presence on this map just because so many things are just flat linear. Top lane is pretty much impossible to push against if you're going into keep against a Falstead, because you have to go onto the Bridge of Death, and that's Kerrigan Falstead like Wonderland. So they have a lot of opportunities here. It's just a matter of how they play it, and if I imagine that their idea is that they're trying to win basically for level 10. They want to get Kerrigan out, rolling, and just doing as much damage as possible. If they can get Maelstrom before the enemy team can get their ult, before Symbiote can get their own ults, then you're looking at a massive jump in damage just because she hits R and she just pile drives everyone away. Like it's so good.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so like I mean, you combine that with Precision Strike as well, and you're just looking at a blanket of AoE that's just crazy high damage. So the options are there. It's not. I don't want to say that Glorious's draft is bad. I don't think it is by any means. I think it's a lot weaker when it comes down to the on paper matchup, just because Symbiote has so much beef to them, and they you know what? If we extend this fight, we're probably going to win it. But if Glorious finds their opening, if they shoot that gap and they get in, they take out one or two people in the beginning of a fight, then I definitely can see them taking this game away. But they're going to have to play super tight with this, and they're basically not allowed to miss a single skill shot. That's tough.
It's tough indeed. I mean, but that's what it comes down to in the highest level of play here in competitive Heroes, and I think we're ready to go. Matt, do you have the game ready for action here?
I am ready, yes.
Well, I'm at the 1 second mark this game, and we're going to look at the game right here, and let's start on go once again. So 3, 2, 1, and go. And here we are with Game 3 of the Grand Finals here of Champion of New Maelstrom between Glorious and Symbiote. This time, they've switched sides. We got Glorious on the left side of the map. Hopefully it doesn't screw with my brain too hard. Ooh, and we even have the Countess Kerrigan being shown off, doing a nice little dance here. Glaurung showing his little sparkly stars on that Halloween skin.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Only one money pig in this game.
Only one. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a downgrade for Symbiote. You know, it's gonna nerf their power by like 1%, but
at least
it happens. Like, I mean, sometimes Vayne wears sunglasses and Leona does a little bit less damage. It happens. Like,
yeah.
it's a thing. But we will be seeing pretty standard play here from SMG. But actually, I want to say this is non-standard play from Glorious. I've seen them do this a couple of times, but I don't see them do it often, especially not in a match that actually has money on the line where they actually stack top instead of bottom.
Yeah, Dread is, he's going to be hard to kill, but with 3 players like this, we're going to see the Primal Grasp attempt, but no dice. Dread kind of saw 2 players and just immediately backed up. Nicely done. And they've realized the gank is not going to happen, and they are rotating here to the mid lane, and maybe they'll be able to pick off KO, but again, KO's got tumble as well. Multiple players that can just get out of the reach from those grabs, but looks like we actually have the counter gank potentially here. Now they should have seen Med Timmy hop in that bush, and looks like they're just going to be backing off. 3v3 in the bottom. Kerrigan and Arthas once again roaming around looking for the gank, but KO not risking it at all. Just going to tumble back into his fort there.
Yeah, we do see just, some general engaging happening. It's going to be all right for SMG. And now I want to know how they're going to play this. SMG is not really known for taking extremely early dragons. They like to kind of stall it out. But if they're given the opportunity, I wouldn't doubt seeing them do it, just because Nova's actually one-on-one against Hero right now. And for me, that's actually one of the worst matchups.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard for Nova. That sounds so hard.
It's super hard, and I think you're being yelled at for overlays. Rip. But we do see a potential engage going on bottom. ZP gonna get knocked into the tower. Won't really matter, and he'll be able to get out because just standard Arthas things along with Uther. But the Falstad flying down bottom is really nice.
Yeah, I will actually try to fix the score here in just a moment, but I don't want to miss the action as I am obsing and doing the score. Glaurung taking a lot of damage. We actually saw the Rhaegar player fall very early. Soldier going to fall as well. So that's 2 for 0. 2 for nothing in favor of Glorious. Nice start, and the score is in fact 2-0. Apologies for not updating that. I'll do that right quick here.
It's all good. You have to deal with robot voice. So
robot voice seems cured. It's cured.
Yeah, well, see what you just did. Do you understand what you did? Oh my god, KO took grenades. I haven't seen Arsenal in so long, and I'm super happy about seeing it. Definitely it's a nice pickup against Nova, especially. Not sure if that was the actual reasoning behind it, but the extra AoE will help knock her out of stealth as well if she manages to dodge the first part of it, and then ends up getting hit by the second part. ZP actually going to get knocked up here by the extended range on Impale. Soldier going to get pulled in. Scary times.
Scary times indeed. I mean, yeah, Soldier took a decent amount of damage, but he's going to be just fine. Glaurung, again, just getting chipped away with a spray and pray of Arthalon. Both the shrines are taken here, and Dread's going to try to get it, but no luck. Soma and Syracuse are going to keep the pressure on. Uther and Nova, again, with the lockdown available. A scary presence, but we have this aggression once again from SMG. They're still down. They got the 1 kill, and the Dragon Knight is going to be secured with the aggression there. Nicely done. Now, the early Dragon Knight doesn't have a massive health pool, but it can definitely take down a wall, sometimes 2. Pretty uncommon, but after seeing the Hearth there, Dreadnought is going to do as much as possible with this Dragon Knight. We see all the lanes are still being soaked by both teams. They don't want to, fall behind in experience here, and the Dread Knight is continuing to just press off.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take this wall and then turn his gaze towards bottom and just go take that out. No big deal. It's hard, as you said. The health pool's low, and it's just hard to push in on Fort early. Taking out the well it's a great idea because it just puts up so much. Rather, it takes away so much utility from the enemy team.
Right, that's sustain in the middle of the map available for them. You want to take that away for sure.
Yeah, especially because of the way that Dragonshire works, where the objective is actually in the middle. So if pokes start happening, it basically doubles the distance that people have to run to get another health wall tap.
Wow, beautifully done by Syracuse and Glowering in the top lane, almost getting soldiers. ZPs might be able to follow up here. Is it going to be enough? The nice juke, but it's actually going to be a kill. Beautifully done. The triple gank in the top lane, taking out Anubarak very early on here. I mean, we're at the 4-minute mark, and it's already 3-1 kills here. Very, very nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, the initiation there at the beginning was good, but we have another one happening in mid right now. Glarong trying to swing down and see what he can do. Doesn't matter though, Rhaegar. Just Rhaegar things.
Yeah, with Dreadnought here in Tyrael, that was actually Soldier on Anubarak. I believe I said it was Dreadnought. I'm so used to seeing him on Anubarak. Now, we've got 4 members here in the bottom lane for Glorious. We see that Nova is floating down as well, but it looks like Dread does have eyes on the Shimmer, so he was pressing towards her a little bit. The Giants are available. Both teams have postured for it, and we'll see what's going to happen right here, because we are going to have an initiation. We have Dread going on in. KO is going to be posturing in the top. A lot of damage, but every member of Glorious is just kind of backing up. Arth very low at this point. Mad Timmy also falling, but the healing ward is going to do a lot of work here. KO needs to be careful, because if Kerrigan jumps on in and the Syracuse misses the snipe, so KO will be just fine. And both teams, no losses. Pretty just passive play, passive initiation, passive aggression, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, in that fight, Arth actually used his first aid as well, and it's really scary when you use first aid and your health bar doesn't move. Like, that's something. It's supposed to heal you for 35% of your health, but that means that you effectively got bursted for 35% of your health the second that you hit that ability. So it's kind of a sign to say, like, okay, I really need to leave now, or I'm going to die. So he backed up, he did the correct thing, and we see a bribe stack gets used on bottom just to help facilitate this giant camp on bottom. And we could be seeing a potentially massive engagement here. We don't have anybody else from the teams rotating around. We actually just have Dread standing alone, being the lone guardsman on this shrine.
Yeah, well, we do see that the rest of his team is going to be right behind him here. ZPs and Dread just kind of exchanging blows right there. KO does fall back nicely, nice tumble there, but the Judgment goes down with the Bloodlust and the Rain of Vengeance. Shock and Awe is not going to do that much damage. Precision Strike is going to do a ton of damage. Is it going to matter though? Dreadnought is actually going to fall. Soma very low, but backing up in the top here. Chthon Lock falling back as well. The Odin able to pick up the kill on Soma, and the beautiful burrow charge here, but actually costs him his life. Arthalon still having a lot of time left here with Odin, and Syracuse is going to try to get out of here, but no, not going to happen. Mad Timmy knows he needs to fall back. Arth can continue to pressure as he only had the Odin health bar go down. Still pretty high on health, and that was pretty back and forth, slightly in favor of SMG.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you kill someone that has Gathering Power, it's almost always a win, just because it means that you've completely reset any kind of damage that they've accrued to this point. So that Nova kill at the end was actually really big, and it does set her back down to the 8% only buff instead of what, let's see, what potentially could have been probably 15%, 16%. So, I mean, it's big. And if you don't take out Gathering Powers, they just snowball. I mean, that's the reason why it's called Gathering Power. You just, oh my god, she does so much damage if you don't deal with that. So, I mean, that was good, and as you said, it was pretty back and forth between each team. We did see something relatively uncharacteristic of SMG with Soldier diving so far to try to pick up a kill that probably didn't need to get picked up because they wouldn't have been able to really push up after it anyways. It was just kind of like in the heat of the moment, he made the call. Didn't cost him anything except for his life, so no big deal, but it's
didn't
nice
cost him anything except his life.
Yeah, I mean, that's whatever. You respawn in like 20 seconds. You know, that's just normal life.
They're going for Syracuse here on their side of the map, right near the Knights, but it's a pretty risky decision here. We actually see them just falling right on back. The members of Glorious are here to defend, but the Judgment goes down on Glaurog. A beautiful Rain of Vengeance is going to do, but the Divine Storm followed by Precision Strike is going to take Mad Timmy down to almost nothing. Bloodlusting to get out of here. barely surviving, but they might be able to chase. Doesn't look like it. The rest of the fight is continuing to happen here. Odin for Arthalon going down here, and SMG continuing to pressure now. With Rhaegar surviving, he can come back in here, throw down a nice chain heal, but it doesn't look like he actually still has the healing totem available, so he does have to play it incredibly passively. Looks like he's going to fall to the bottom lane to push, and you know, they got 2 kills. They lost no one. Mad Timmy barely lived. Nicely done.
They're going to get a dragon for it, too. So what actually happened there was, while so much damage did get bursted onto KO and Mad Timmy, it didn't matter. Soldier was going forward with his Locust Form. Arthalon was going forward with his just everything, and they were fighting away Glaurung, Cawthon Luck, and Syracuse. And what ended up happening was, while that initiation from, I guess it was kind of a double initiation, sort of like we saw the Rain of Vengeance come down. It did end up clipping so much that we couldn't get the Divine Storm out right away, but he did end up getting it pretty soon afterwards. It ended up just being to the point where Glorious didn't have the damage to continue the fight, and they ended up losing it. So really, really well done. Really strong decision making there from SMG to say, you know what, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll let them survive on their own. We can just stop them from dying by being aggressive. The best defense is a fantastic offense. So,
well, yeah, like you said, I just like all the decisions made in that engagement. The Bloodlust used pretty much to save his life, but still it works as aggression for the rest of the team as well. Just beautiful decision making from everyone all around. And then the rotation down to the Dragon Knight Shrine, bottom trying to secure the Dragon Knight because he had no health left to stay in the fight. Nice decision making there. And they've got all 3 forts down here at this point in the game, and they've got a sizable 2-level lead. Yeah,
we do see that they've fallen back to take up what could be potentially both camps down bottom and on their own side. If this happens, it's almost going to force an engage coming in, as SMG does have level 16 advantage. And I'm not going to say this is going to be the game, but this could be a set-ending push if they do this right.
Well, the beautiful judgment there on Cawthon Luck, forcing him back into this initiation. Arthalon pops the Odin once again very early. The Precision Strike is going to do close to nothing. The Odin health bar is low, but wow, there goes the Falset player. And the aggression just continuing forward. Like you said, their aggression has just been earning them a lot in this entire series, and they're going to continue pushing forward here. They want this keep. It's only 11 minutes into this match. Dreadnought coming in here, going for ZP. Soldier. Oh, but they both did. I was looking at Dreadnought. They both did. And yes, nicely done. But just hyper aggression. Now they actually did pick up the kill on Nova. And yes, they're going to get this first keep here in the bottom half of the lane. They've got 4 Giants here having a party. They can fall back, grab more Giants if they decide they want to. Play safe because those spawn timers are still very short, as we're still pretty early in the game.
I mean, yeah, we're 12 minutes in, and it's mostly just because they're still level 14 that their respawn timers are so short. But it's all right. I mean, they lost a keep. It's not the end of the world. It certainly hurts. But if they get one good team fight and they manage to flip this game back, I mean, they're going to get 2 levels almost guaranteed if they manage to 5-0 them. If they manage to like 5-2 them, they'll get pretty close to 2 full levels. But the biggest thing to see here is that Glorious has pretty much 1 more good engage in them before level 20. Obviously, they want to have level 16 before that happens, but they really need to hit a very specific timing, and being seen by these creeps up top is not going to help. Soldier's just going to burrow away. And now the entirety of Glorious is kind of sitting pretty up top, and this could be it. This could be set.
Yeah, well, here comes Judgment, like you said, sitting pretty indeed. Here comes a Precision Strike doing a good amount of damage, followed by Shock and Awe, but it's not going to be enough. Their 2 big damage-dealing heroics have gone down. Glaurung is dead. A beautiful, oh my goodness, the Rain of Vengeance
was just on point.
It was exactly what they needed to just secure this big kill. Now they've got 40 seconds on timers. Looks like they want to push this top keep. Nope. They're like SMG likes to do. They've got to keep down. They're going for the full-on aggression here. They want.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them push core right now. They have the.
They're doing it. No, they're doing it. They're going all the way around. Yeah. They said, we've already got catapults at your core, chipping away. We can chip away. We've got 20 seconds before you have the rest of your team up here, and they're going for it now. The lust is here. Oh my goodness. And that's gonna be game, guys. It's 3-0 now. Chat has been yelling at me. I didn't realize that the scores were on the opposite side. Symbiote is in fact up 2-0, making this a 3-0. It does say glorious 2-0 there. It's almost impossible to observe the game and have to go back out and have to update the scores. There's no easy way to do that without missing action, especially considering how fast-paced the stuff is. Production flub, sorry, apologies, they switched sides. What can you do? When I run events, they're always on the same side. Damn.
Yeah, okay.
Do we have-
Probably because I have to yell at you like 10 times. Just saying.
hey man, it's hard to even just consider doing it. I'm not reading the chat when I'm casting a game. I'm observing casting. It's hard
Hey,
to read
man.
the chat.
That's why we make the good duo. That's why we do the production together.
It's true, man. It's true. Are we gonna get graced with
I
the
can
potato
try
cam?
I can try to potato my way back into the stream. Let's find out what happens.
Well,
It's like 16-bit.
No, that's
I'm
good.
Super
That's-
Nintendo
yo,
right
that's, That's good. That's good enough. That's
now.
good
Yeah,
enough.
I'm Super Nintendo. I'm not NES, so we're good. And
Well,
that's it, right?
Yeah,
we're done.
congratulations, the glorious. I mean, next.
Okay, so Jake is done casting events for like a month. We're just gonna cut him off.
Oh,
So
goodness.
congratulations, to
Glorious
Symbiote
on a good
Gaming.
showing, but Symbiote taking first place, getting that $500 cash prize. Congratulations to them. I believe they all got keyboards, and I believe that all the members of Glorious got mice as well. So that's cool. I don't know the exact model, but yeah, good showing by both teams for sure. Yes, I blundered a lot of the production there at the end, but hey guys, it happens here. So yes, 3-0 in favor of SMG. Third place goes to Descent. Again, they had a really strong tournament. Nice to see for them for sure. We have this like sound in the back. I'm gonna try to kill that. Guys, yeah, that just does it for Champions of New Maelstrom. Now, Saturday, I will be casting with Zoya, be casting Kings of the Storm weekly number 2. There's a second stream with Xander and Kucher, Shane Kucher.
Yes.
They are going to be casting the second stream, or first stream. There's no first or second. There's 2 streams happening this weekend here for Kings of the Storm 2. That's going to be on Saturday starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys want more competitive Heroes of the Storm action, that'll be happening then. And it's going to be some great games. I know there's more stuff happening on Sunday as well. I believe HPL is going to be happening both days potentially. I know they're happening. I think they're happening Sunday, Monday. Maybe it's Friday, Sunday, Monday for HPL. So there's lots of Heroes of the Storm action going on, guys. There's a lot of channels you can follow. Make sure you follow the channel here. And thank you to everyone that subscribed. I've only had partnership for Twitch for a day, and I've already got a bunch of subs, so I greatly appreciate the support. Allows me to create a lot of good content. Continue to increase the production value as much as I blundered it for the last map. I think that's my first mistake in any production for Heroes of the Storm, so I'll take it. Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And guys, if you want to find out more information about Kings of the Storm, Matt, where can they find that info and where can they sign up to play?
Reddit. Reddit.com/r/Heroes of the Storm. You can find it on there. Either search for me, see Steve, you'll find my post. You can see it there, or you can search for Kings of the Storm in the. Make sure you search inside of the subreddit. Otherwise, you'll get stuff from all over Reddit and you won't have any idea what you're looking at. The thread you are looking for is Kings of the Storm Weekly number 2. And the sign-up form will be at the top of the page. Now that, as Jake said, that is this Saturday. It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern, and the only really requirements you have are you have to sign up as a team of 5, and you need at least 12 heroes in your hero pool, including free ones, in order to play, because it is a draft tournament, and if you don't have that, then you will be disqualified, so rip you. But other than that, you can find me at CSSteve on Twitter. I stream occasionally. I'm probably going to start streaming again on Twitch at some point. If you want to stay up to date on Kings of the Storm, I have created a Twitter for it at Kings of the Storm. You can find that, and there is going to be a Twitch channel for that eventually. We haven't ported anything over to that yet. We want to make sure everything's right. So if you want to follow that, by all means, go ahead. But there's not going to be anything on there just yet. Probably not until after BlizzCon. And that's it. So I hope you guys tune in to Jake's stream this Saturday, because that's where Kings is going to be.
Yep.
As another shout out to Shane and Xander. It'll be on Xander's stream, Xander the Gamer, on Twitch. And a big shout out to Katya, who's prizing the event again for another 100 Blizzard dollars. So
Really cool. Really
That's
cool
cool.
to have the
Yeah.
prize pool available there.
it's awesome.
Just some final plugs here. The two of us are going to be at BlizzCon. We're going to be doing interviews. I actually just invested in a brand new fancy little microphone. We're going to be interviewing tons of Heroes of the Storm players, personalities, developers, you name it, whoever we can get their ear and get their words on the community, competitive and just game design, balance, whatever, everything. We're going to be talking tons and tons of heroes. So we're going to have a boatload of interviews coming out right after BlizzCon on YouTube. That's going to be youtube.com/solidjakegg. We do a show called Clairvoyance every week. This week it's going to be tomorrow night. We're sitting down with who, Matt?
We are sitting down with Quibsy and Keefers from 2-Arc Iliad, the team that just made a pretty big splash in Kings of the Storm, upsetting both one of the teams we saw here, Glorious, and the other being Snowflake, 2-0ing them in an event and putting up some pretty good games against basically all of the top teams.
They looked really good. I mean, they got 100 Skull Golem versus Symbiote. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. That was cool. And it was just a really strong performance. So I'm really stoked for that interview. That's going to be on Friday night, tomorrow night, actually. The time frame, 8 p.m.?
I mean, whenever you want, I'll be home.
8 p.m. sounds good. If that works for the players, that'll be the time. Don't hold us to it yet, because
I think they have to be off by 9.
Okay, so 8 p.m.
As long as
it'll
we
probably
get
be 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's 7:30, 8 p.m. Be in Jake's stream. He's probably gonna be streaming beforehand, anyways.
Yes.
So just be here. Just follow this channel and just love Jake forever.
Oh
and
man,
just be here.
You guys, I mean, honestly, like I said, I've already received a ton of support. So guys, again, I appreciate it. We're going to be doing a lot of Heroes of the Storm content here constantly. This channel is pretty much 100% Heroes of the Storm. Might do Warlords or Draenor, we'll see. But guys, thanks so much for supporting everything we've done here, Champions of New Maelstrom. We appreciate the opportunity to cast the event. Shout outs to all the sponsors: Billy, NGA, and I believe there was one more. I feel bad for not knowing it, but really appreciate the opportunity here to cast this event. It's been a blast. Took us a little bit longer to finish than we wanted because computers break and stuff, but hey, what can you do? Seems relatively stable at this point in time. And guys, I'm going to continue streaming tonight for a good